I'm going to my writing today for my reflection. It is my writing, so I'm going to read and then we can talk about it. Lately, I find myself adrift in a sea of conclusion. The routines I've long held dear, reading, writing, practicing speech, exercising, once finely tuned and seemingly perfect, have all collapsed at once. It feels as though a deeply rooted tree has been torn from the earth by an invisible gust of wind. This unraveling began a few weeks ago, quietly, seated by a creeping sense of monotony. I spent days caught in a whirlpool of uncertainty, unable to tell what I was really doing or why I was doing it. In the midst of this wandering, a spark of inspiration began to flare within me, like a small fire catching wind. I decided to return to the beginning. I become a beginner again to try something new. Since then, I've spent nearly 18 waking hours each day exploring different angles of the work I want to pursue, but so far, all I've encountered are missteps, failures, and errors. Nothing tangible has emerged, and yet I know this period is not in vain. If anything, it signals the doorstep of growth. Even the routines I once clung to so tightly started with a single sentence. One word lead, one word led to another, then to a line, then a paragraph, and eventually to a book. And the version of myself I am today. Skill in the end is like a tree that grows by feeding on time. Passion alone bears no fruit. But with time, you suddenly realize you've grown. As a skill accumulates and a conversation of quiet doubt slips in. Am I doing this right? As days and pass each beyond, inevitably everything clumps in once more, and I find myself in resetting from the start. That process always demands any time and energy. It was the same with the fitness. When I first set out to shape my body, I would spend 5 hours at the gym, driven by the desire to understand concepts like isolation and stimulation. Sometimes I went twice a day. Those days were filled with cautions and few results. But in retrospect, they were also filled with joy, fueled by immersion and passion. When trying to achieve something, overthinking often becomes an obstacle. Will I be good enough? What will others think? What if this idea fails? These thoughts shake our resolve and quietly prepare us for failure. In those moments, simplicity becomes the key. Whatever I just try, something will come of it. And if it doesn't, oh well, I will just stay fine. The light-hearted mindset keeps us moving forward. Still, I sometimes fear that such a lightness might stall growth or leave me stuck. So I turn again to the idea of the moderation, not too much, not too little, not too tense, not too relaxed. In the end, all the philosophy returns to balance. Right now, I am confused and in pain, but I am trying to cut off the noise and begin again to simplicity. And I remind myself, so what if it doesn't work out? At least it was fun. At least I enjoyed. 이렇게 하면 될 것 같은데? Yeah, that sentence is much better. But like, I try to stay focused on something, but it is like, kind of sad my new routine, so I just think about it. Okay, so good job, Aiden, and a really good start today.